load the loading dock. You know, lots of things to do. We've also been shipping a lot of equipment down to Simpsonville and have done a lot of that, and that will also continue. I've been on N2B recently, but I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking in the test lab. I don't know how far along we are with getting the hack, the hot aisle containment system, looking in that area. So it's starting to shape up. Is there something physical? Okay, cool. It's worth part of the tour, I think, to see that. There'll be a bunch of those in Windsor when we're all done. Okay. Move out, change, decommissions. Yeah, everybody's favorites starts the list, and that TISA environment. It's the ugliest thing in the data center, but it's got some kind of green Nike swoosh thing going there. But it gives us, you know, a lot of potential for doing some heavy-duty data mining and data work. But unfortunately, it came with additional heat load, and we're sort of at the stress point in our current geo data center. So it has Robbie the robot cooling it. In case you see that, it's sort of cute as well. It just, if the arms don't move, that's the only wrong part. If they did, it'd be perfect. No, he was on. Was that on
some show that was on the Virgin?
I think, yeah, that was awesome. But I think I had a Robbie the robot. And I still don't know what's going on. It's right there with Steve Canyon. Anybody who knows who Steve Canyon is, I'm really impressed. Nobody knows. Anyway, he was a colonel in the Air Force. Really cool. We also have, you know, again, we're doing all this work, just working tickets, you know, all the time. 61 server decommissions, one a little early, but a lot of work there, and we really try to stay ahead of that, because obviously when we start powering down things and moving them out, if we're actually helping with the heat load, reduce the heat load, that's all critical stuff. Also get some of those servers out of our maintenance here, and we can maybe save some money that way. And then of course there's a lot of other side things, the stuff we're doing for TMS and GMS type of stuff, where we got to prepare equipment for factory acceptance testing and things like that. Some of the DMS stuff, getting that ready in the other locations, keeps everybody busy. Tracing cables would be my favorite thing to do, but those are the kinds of things we have to do in the cyclical world, just to make sure everything's okay. And Janet retired, so I guess he's not here. But Tyler Schaefer is here. So I don't want to say replace Jane, because that would be a tough thing to do, but he's here to help us get things built. Okay, and we have a drum roll to see who's next. Figure out how to. Leo.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks, Doug.
Sure, I'll be back.
Yeah. I'll miss you.
Phil. So much like the rest of the groups, Level 3 also had quite a few significant accomplishments throughout 2012. I think we're skipped over one of my slides. No, we're not. Okay. Order. Yeah, there we go. They're in the wrong order. Okay. That's okay.
It's fast.
So, just wanted to call out a few of them that we've done through the year. First one I'll talk about a little bit is OpNet NetMapper. So this is a project primarily driven by Paul Jones from the Level 3 team. Really took a pretty much 100% manual process in creating and maintaining network diagrams, implemented a tool set that did some auto discovery and built out diagrams that really builds diagrams, maintains changes, and creates them every 24 hours. So we've taken what was previously a 100% manual process and made it about a 90% automated process. Saved us about $50K a year in resource time for things that we can allocate to other initiatives. So Cascade is the second one I'd like to talk about, and really brought a lot of value to the organization this year from a performance management troubleshooting tool set. So we implemented Cascade in 2011. went through a benefits realization initiative and based on business case, planned to have about $200,000 worth of benefits this year. Significant amount of benefit driven from the Hurricane Sandy initiative. We claimed $1.3 million worth of operational benefits from the tool set this year, about $1 million of that being support from Hurricane Sandy. Sorry? What is Cascade? Good question. So Cascade is a tool we implemented which looks at network traffic and analyzes network traffic at a little bit of a higher level than a sniffer, but really looks at things like on a transactional basis and the time it takes for transactions to process between two locations. Third project here was OpEx end-to-end monitoring. So significant benefit also, progress also from this project. So January, we were at a place where we had a ton of information, RFPs, vendor information, analysis, research. We worked through a proof of concept. We worked through an evaluation of a Microsoft Systems Center. Worked through developing a business case and soliciting approval. Today we have an approved and funded $2.6 million project that's going to take about 2.5 more years to fully implement. So I suspect we'll be able to talk about additional accomplishments with this one here towards the end of 13 as well. Talking a little bit about tickets, so performance analysis cases is something that we do quite a bit of at a level 3. We had 118 documented cases throughout 2012, almost 500 incident tickets and just over 300 RFWs that we processed. Some problems that the team worked through. So if you remember back in late 2011, we deployed a new MPLS WAN. Had some performance problems, some significant performance problems with the initial deployment that impacted most of our WAN sites. Spent the better part of about 8 months working through evaluating, testing, implementing changes, and really working out a standard configuration to those QoS configurations and ultimately deploying a standard across the organization. Performed an upgrade in SolarWinds to keep our config manager version in a supportable release and maintain NERC compliance with that tool set. Recent accomplishment as of last week is Tivoli. So Tivoli Enterprise Console, or TEC, was a major component of the server monitoring solution we have in place today. Carries about $70K in maintenance costs, and so we identified a different way to accomplish what Tivoli did. As of last Thursday, Tivoli has been removed from the solution, so we can officially claim some cost savings here with the removal of TEC. Bunch of work supporting Nuage, upgrade of MPLS circuits in our Geo and Lehigh data center, upgrade of Nexus data center switch stacks in our Geo and Lehigh data center. Significant effort from level 3 and also the remainder of the organization here from a work and a coordination perspective. And provided some assistance to Montana ISD team in troubleshooting a significant performance problem affecting the trading floor and the 080 application, which ultimately we were able to validate problems within the vendor's infrastructure as opposed to PPL's, because I know all of our vendor infrastructure is perfect and it's ours. And lastly, I wanted to talk a little bit about the technical leadership that the team has provided for some of the crisis situations, particularly second half of the year. We seem to have probably a higher number than usual of significant performance crises, Q3 and Q4. MDM, DIMS, and Hurricane Sandy support, to name a few, and recently the ESX crises. Level 3 folks have stepped up to lead those from a technical perspective, and also with significant help from the level 2 teams and even level 1 teams with Pithy and with Jackie's team. So really appreciate everybody's help with those.